holy people.
We are what?
Without art and holy people.
At 13 years old, imagine how this is going to impact his life.
That's right.
Imagine him knowing at 13 years old that I'm a black man, that my people are holy people, which means separate from the other people. Read on.
Unto the Lord thy God.
Unto the Lord thy God. This 13-year-old should be an example to you older brothers. This 13-year-old boy should be an example to all you brothers that march with Martin Luther King and sold all our businesses to the damn white man and left this brother right here without a job, without a trade, without a business of his own. This 13-year-old boy right here should be an example to all you men. That's why the leaders, when Christ was teaching, didn't honor Christ because he was so young. Christ started teaching when he was young. You understand? That's right. Let me tell you something. In New York City, in Harlem, in Brooklyn, in Queens, in the Bronx, you better not dare blame the youth for the violence and the crime that is going on. Your older generation, you bastards that march with Martin Luther King and sold your businesses to our enemies, you're the problem with the violence. You left the youth nothing. You left them nothing. You marched because you wanted to drink from the white man's water fountain. And now you got crime-ridden neighborhoods. You better not dare blame the children. It is your fault Brooklyn is a hellhole. It is your fault of all the murders in the Bronx. Why did you leave these children? Because of your civil rights, your equality with your slave master. And now all over the internet, our daughters are talking about the color of their butthole and the color of their vagina. It's your fault, black man. Your older generation who dropped the ball, sold the businesses to our enemies, it was you. Now, this 13-year-old boy right here is what matters.
That's right.
And you older black men, you should understand that you failed. If you older black men don't understand all this knowledge in New York City, all these conscious cats in New York City, all of these 7%ers in New York City, all of you Masons, all you city Muslims, all you city cats. Where are your children at right now? Ask yourself, where's my son while I'm here right now? Your son ain't follow that 7% garbage. Your son ain't follow that Egyptology. Where is he? Is he in the prison? Has he fallen to the lust of homosexuality? Or is he in the grave? Brother, it is an honor.
That's right.
That your son standing here reading for you. I pray I get that honor one day. I got boys. I got one son named Nicole. Don't worry about that cat. All that cat want to do is fight. That boy better stand up here with me and serve our king. This man here, come here, man. Come here. This brother here, this is a good father. All of you brothers who chose to vote for Barack Obama and you seek politicians to help your community, you are horrible parents. Brothers like Dwayne Wade, who taught his son he could be a girl, he is a horrible father. And all of you that think likewise, you are we have been horrible parents. But not this brother here. This is a good father here.
That's right.
This is a good father, got his son standing up here. And it was glorious in my sight through the Spirit of the Lord when I walked up here.
That's right.
Now ask yourself, where's my son? Where's my daughter? I gotta give myself to that foolish God Allah. Where's my son? He ain't standing with you in that garbage. Here in America, we saying, oh man, you can't tell nothing to these young niggas. They don't want to listen. All right, it's your fault. It is our fault. We must take accountability for what we left our sons. And because we chose to play the white man's sports, because we chose to say his schools was better, and we followed that fool Martin Luther King and all of these other black leaders into another generational curse, you have left nothing for your children. Don't nobody give a damn about them African drums. Are you crazy? Your sons don't give a damn about them African drums. You know why? Because he's trying to survive in America. A lot of those children that America would like to blame for the violence and for the crime got more heart than all them soldiers over there in Iraq. Got more heart than the police department in New York City. We have to take accountability for what we left our sons. You mind if I get this? You mind if I use your boy real quick? Give me Proverbs 22:6, young man. This is glorious right here. You ask yourself, where is your son? What did we leave our sons? Because of Martin Luther King, our neighborhoods fell into crack and the cocaine epidemic and destroyed our children, man. We must take accountability. You see the men standing up here? Us teaching on this microphone to tell you how much you are the chosen people of the Lord and how much the Lord chose you don't mean nothing if this boy don't receive it and pick it up.
That's right.
That's why King David said to Solomon, I'm going to make your enemies my footstool.
Right.
That's how important this work is. For our children to know who they are, what they're capable of, what God they supposed to serve, what culture they come from, what blood they come from, so he can pick it up and be a champion like this brother right here.
That's right.
This brother is a champion. Do you think this boy will be such a champion if he was convinced to say, well, if I want to be a woman, I could be a woman? And how would I love him and say, yeah, you know what, if you feel like you're a female, go ahead and be a female. The hell kind of garbage is that? Who wouldn't want a son standing here strong, all black? This is glory to the sight of the Lord, man. All you fools in New York City talking about you conscious and you worshiping women. What else, Cap? I don't even know all that. Cap, no, I can't entertain that. That's why I'm on security. Just smack them, smack this battle debate over. Damn. Read.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go.
That's what matters. That's what matters.
That's right.
Because one day, my brother, one day as old men, you're going to die. What legacy did you leave? Oh, you used to be a drug dealer. Your son going to be a drug dealer too. You know that, right? Your son is going to follow in your path. Just raise your hand if you know men who died from gun violence and their sons suffer from the same gun violence. That's because a son is going to be who his father is. Now you look in our communities and look at the state of our sons. That is because of what the fathers are and the great-grandfathers are. We have failed our children in America, man. When you look on the news and you see the state of black people, don't say it's the 14-year-old's fault. What does he know? What is a 14-year-old child from the ghetto that's struggling to survive in the middle of Harlem? What does he know? What did you teach him? Did you teach him what God said, what to do and what not to do? Or did you say, you can love any woman you want? So he go and get the gift of being athletic and aggressive in sports. He go and get himself a white woman. And start loving white people. We have failed our children. You got sons or daughters? You, right there. Do you have sons or daughters? You don't have no sons. Do you know your father? Your father. Do you know your father? Your birth father. Do you know him?
My father?
Yes.
Yeah, I know my father.
You know him. And what is your relationship like with him?
He's good. He's dead.
What did he take? Well, I'm sorry. Where are you from?
I'm from Mauritania.
Who?
Mauritania.
What did you say?
Mauritania.
What country is that?
It's West Africa.
Okay, no sweat. Come here real quick. Come here, stand up here. Let me see something. You stand right there for a minute. Read that. Young man right here. This brother right here. Excuse me. Tell somebody again. Get him for me, brother.
No.
Okay, no sweat.
I don't know you. I'm not letting nobody sell you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. And it's worth something.
This is Black Watch with Commanding General YAHANNA, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he make man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
We don't need a black man in the White House. We need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. Black Watch. Let the show begin.
Israel, and we'll go into the stories and answer all of your questions, solve all of your problems, make your marriage work, and make your children behave. Yediah, what's the first story we have tonight?
Thousands of Christians condemn Greg Abbott's migrant mistreatment.
Say mic's off, sounds low.
So lucky.
Okay.
Greg Abbott is the governor of Texas, I believe, right? Greg Abbott is the governor of Texas. Yediah, explain this story to me. I believe Greg Abbott, because so many migrants are trying to flood into America, running from the destruction that America caused in their own country, they're flooding into America. And Greg Abbott, I believe, put something in the Rio Grande River, some type of barriers to cut them to shreds if they try to swim across the river. Is that right, Yediah?
Connor Wakan,
Break it
sir.
down.
Connor Wakan, sir. In the story, it says, you know what I mean, the tactics that were used to secure the border include razor wire fencing.
Good Lord. Razor wire fencing in the river. Now, I don't know if you remember, but as a scene, it's hard for me to get out of my brain. I think 2 years ago, of a father and his daughter, and their bodies were found in the Rio Grande River, and the father had his daughter inside of his shirt because he was trying to swim across the river and drown. Now, our oppressor knows about stories like that and countless stories like that. And so instead of trying to find a way to help these people, our brothers, the South and Central Americans, the chosen people of God, he instead puts razor wire in the river to cut them to shreds in the river. And that's America's answer for dealing with the people that are trying to come over here to America, fleeing from the destruction that America causes in their country.
Okay.
Mexico is an unlivable place in most places in Mexico. Honduras, Guatemala. These places are absolutely unlivable. And meanwhile, it's technically a paradise over there. The weather is perfect. Fruit growing everywhere. It's a completely hospitable place. But the reason that people have to run out of South and Central America is because they're too close to America for America to allow them to have prosperity, to have a government of their own, to have an economy of their own. And so America destroys its neighbors. America is a terrible neighbor, terrible neighbor. America refuses to allow any other South and Central American country to have any prosperity, to have any place where they can be proud of and they can stand on their feet without American assistance. And because of that, they destroy their neighbors. All throughout North, South, and Central America, you have the poorest people that you can possibly imagine who are a border away from the prosperity of Times Square, from the prosperity of California.
Like they put their name on it. Central and South America, they put their name on it, but and still, like you said, horrible neighbors still won't let them prosper.
What General Mayaka is saying is so true. So America knows that people are flooding over here. In New York, it's a crisis. Out there in New York, where the U.P.K's headquarters is, I'm talking, you should see the lines out there, people sleeping outside for weeks, sleeping outside trying to get asylum in New York City. People who have climbed over razor wire with their children in tow. trying to get away from a country that America has destroyed and running straight into the arms of America, who will treat them like animals because they want to live a better life, because they don't want their children to die. And they come over here to America and are treated like animals. Keep going.
Which included razor wire fencing, arresting undocumented migrants on
Let me see for a second. Go ahead.
And arresting undocumented migrants on trespassing charges and busing migrants to Democrat-ran cities out of state. Earlier this month, a 3-year-old boy died on a migrant bus en route from Texas to Chicago.
Because why? Because now the governor of Texas is sending all of these people to New York and sending them to Chicago because they have more acceptable laws that accept migrants and accept people who are not legal citizens in America. And of course, there are so many of them that New York can't handle them. Chicago, Los Angeles can't handle them. And no one ever decides to see the obvious answer, which is to make their own countries livable. That's it. People won't come to New York if you could stop creating poverty in their country, because they cannot live in their country.
Oh man, we on the edge. Oh, okay.
We just going over, sir, the razor wire that Governor Abbott is putting up in Texas to try to cut the immigrants up into pieces that are going to swim across the Rio Grande River, running out of a problem that America created in their own country. And I believe that was that on that story. Am I right, Yedai? Okay, we can go to the next one. If you want to do something, come on up first.
You brought out a heavy point, General.
Go ahead.
But you know, like America, they fight so hard to stop these immigrants from coming over here, all the way up to, you know, killing them damn near in the water, putting traps and booby traps in the water. When, like you said, the obvious, like if you know, if you want to stop this, if you really wanted to stop this, you'd fix their countries.
Yeah, since you messed it up.
You can't.
Since you broke their country, why don't you free them of that loan they have to pay and allow them to do business and commerce and sell their own goods? But instead, you destroy their country, and when they run out of it, like a person runs out of a burning building, you arrest them, and hurt them for running out of a place that is killing them.
God, it show you the greed and the evil of these people. You know what I'm saying? They can't give up a penny of them stacks they sitting on, of them buildings that they rob in countries and getting rich. They just can't give up none of it. You know what I'm saying? They rather see, let's kill them instead.
Yeah, it's like Henry Kissinger said, it's cheaper to just kill them. He said, and trying to rule it, control it. And really, they ain't say the whole thing that, if I could, they ain't say the whole thing that Colin Powell said. Colin Powell told them, look, if you break it, you gonna own it.
That's what he said.
You gonna own all the problems that come with it. He was talking about the Iraqi war, and sure enough, they broke it, man. And on top of that, man, they looking real weak in front of Putin right now. In front of Putin has forgiven $26 billion to them bone eaters down there in Africa. Like, he went into the desert with, just like the scripture said, he went in there where the scorpions is at. He went and gave mercy to the scorpions, to those that nobody gives mercy to. He went down there, man, and told them, go ahead, we got you. You know what I mean? 26 billion, and you can't let up off of these Latino brothers and sisters. Meanwhile, let's not forget that there's over 1,500 there's over 1,500 of those. There's over 1,500 of those beautiful Latino babies that they can't even find. They done put them in the system and they can't even find them. And that's why people is pushing the whole trafficking thing. Like, the diabolicalness is coming to fruition. What the French been doing down there has been evil as hell. Now listen, I'm not giving Putin no pass. He been up there killing and murdering all over the earth, just like everybody else. The point is, here's our problem.
if I could, to add to what you generals are saying. Our problem is the same thing is happening to us. The problem is we love the murderer.
Right.
Like every nation on this earth is gobbling up the earth for its own power. They gobbling up, they inventing stuff, they developing weapons like the Lord said. They taking land, they don't let a stitch of land go. Hell, they don't even let the people in America have half of the land in America. You got land everywhere. Listen, I just passed today. I'm driving down towards the Philadelphia airport. If you ever did this, if you ever went down 95 and you went underneath the underbridge and you know where you come off and there's a Wawa there and then you make a right and then you head to the airport, you'd have to be from Philly to know these things, y'all. But here's my point. As I went under the underpass, I saw them clearing some land. And this land was so big. This land literally is bigger than downtown Philadelphia. If you ever pass through there, you're going to see it. It's when you go down 95, you pass University of Penn. You keep going. You go in the left lane and they'll say, Philadelphia Airport. And you go under it, you go down a stretch. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah. That stretch you go down, they're leveling that land, and it is so huge. You could damn near can't see to the other side that they level. They got like 100 bulldozers out there leveling this huge piece of land. And brother, it's almost bigger. You probably could get it on the GPS. It's bigger than the downtown of Philadelphia. And meanwhile, undeveloped. Meanwhile, the people in Philly are paying ridiculous amounts of rent. New York rents being charged in Philadelphia. Like the stranglehold of slavery never comes off of it, save the Most High deliver you. You hear that, TikTok? If the Lord don't deliver you, you will be a perpetual intergenerational slave, if not for the Lord, which is why the type of God you follow is so important. The God you follow is so important because you following gods for all the wrong reasons. When everything that you read about God in the Bible makes him the perfect God. One, he's a man of war. He liked to fight. That's one. Number two, he done put his name on the children of Israel. He done took ownership of us. He said at one time, get me right, he said, Israel is my wife, right? And he called Israel his firstborn. He called him all those things. So that's number three. And number four, he got a track record of doing what? Destroying the nations that bring us into captivity. Yes, now, if that ain't the baddest God you ever wanted, I don't know what you want. Because he's the one that's going to make sure that you put into captivity, you get out. You know how long them Africans been in captivity under them French? They on dirt roads. They driving 18-wheelers filled with cocoa on a dirt road. Hoping to make a few quarters because they've been starved to death. And now they're rebelling against him because Putin said, I'll give a gun to any man that want to fight against this imperialism. Welcome to World War III. And it is magnificent in the Lord's eyes. It's a magnificent thing. It's a magnificent thing. You know what I mean? Like I already was overconfident in it already. I was already too damn confident. Now you can't tell me nothing, huh? You can't counsel me or nothing. You can't sit me down, tell me nothing no more.
I'm with you, gentlemen.
Cat walked up to me. I'm in the Wawa. Cat walked up to me. Yeah, Israelites, right? Yeah, I.S.U.P.K, right? I said, yeah, Con, I want Con. Yeah, man, let me tell you. Yep. Normally, I entertain a brother, let him get what he's saying out, let him talk. Then, I might correct him. Now, I'm a problem. I'm a problem. Now, I don't even want to. What? Nothing. Doodle. What? You got nothing to say. That's right. The biblical prophecy that everybody took a dump on is here, alive, and well. And it's not only in the prophecy. Because I was up in that New York. Big shout out to Captain Tazariak and the whole New York posse. Big shout out to Shamawa Allah's new rank raised 13,000, baby. He up there, top flight, man. Held it down. Been a cold soldier in this truth for a long time. I went up there, man. There was a lot of brothers and sisters came from all over, man, up there in New York City. And there was one main thing, and I mentioned this to Muhammad, I believe, or one of y'all I mentioned it to, that I saw something different between, and we always see it, but I don't like to forget all the jewels the Lord revealed to us. So I'm watching us, and I'm watching the people in the world. And brother, we are so alive and clear and unconfused and off of drugs and powerful, and to where Muhammad pointed out a sister to me. He said, you see that sister over there? I said, which one? Oh, that one? Yeah. He said, yeah. He said, that sister, brother, was homeless and walked up in here. And brother, they put a UPK t-shirt on her, gave her a meal and some counsel. And she began to come alive too. Damn right. Now listen, you call me a dreamer, Bible thumper, yo, halfway Christian. You know they call me everything. I don't give a damn, because Putin giving guns to Hamites. Anytime you giving guns to niggas that eat niggas, that means we in the third world. Like a nigga will eat you, and you giving this nigga a gun. That means we in it. Am I wrong? Listen, we in the greatest work at the greatest time, under the greatest circumstances that it could ever be. And what them Republican politicians don't know is that the Lord is going to remove this nation from up underneath them. You understand? And their whole program is so off. Donald Trump is still, I mean, he murdering them in the polls. He got 6 indictments. Conspiracy, every gangster move they can think of. They like, so what? They don't give a damn.
And they pro law and order.
Pro law and order. There you go. You know what I mean? And so DeSantis trying to be on the program, like just to bring it back to where you started, trying to be on the program with Trump, gonna go up there and put these out to do our last.
Of 13,000.
Let me say something else too. That beware, brothers and sisters, beware of Satan when it comes to our Latino brothers. They down right now. They down. They on the streets in New York, in these cities. They starving. They family separated. They in the weather. They have no future. Many of them can't even speak the language. You understand? They just in a bad state. And let me tell you something. A lot of you in the world are going to be tempted to take a dump on them while they down. And you had better understand who you are messing with. You are messing with the Lord's 12 tribes. You see what's happening in America. America's going to the third world. America's about to become a wasteland for messing with God's chosen. And if you don't recognize that with those Latino tribes and puff yourself up and disrespect them while they down, just don't say nothing when the Lord carry out his scripture where he say, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. You understand? Big shout out to all the camps that have gone out, extended their food programs. U.P.K. they just some badasses. I'm just straight up true. They just some badasses. You understand? They just, you know what I mean? They cover the whole spectrum. Right. And they out there feeding these brothers and sisters with minimal resources. Minimal. You understand? They showed up at the vice president's house. She ran inside, shut the door on. You understand? You the vice president of the United States. She could spin up a whole regiment of soldiers and food. She's the VP. She could have said, all y'all come in my yard. Everybody come in there. Secret Service, search everybody. Make sure we all straight. Ain't no assassin in the middle. Come on in, y'all. Come on. Everybody come in. Spin me up 2 regiments, man, out of D.C. They had them up there for January 6th. They ain't even deployed. She could have deployed them 2 regiments, bring them in. I need 26 tons of food. Bring me in a ship. Ride me in one of them hospital boats. She's the VP. Like, give me some power, man, House. I need some power, baby. Let me wield this thing, man. Let me take this scripture to the next step. I can wield this power that's been given to us in the knowledge of this truth. You know what I would do in a seat like that? First of all, and it would be a political coup. She'd have ate them alive in the Republican Party. She'd have been out there with him, brother. They'd have been, man, grilling, cooking, laughing, joking, helping them people. And she would have changed the mood in the Democratic Party in the country. And the mood and the spirit in the country would have been helped these brothers and sisters. Once again, we got to get off the treadmill. I'm gonna pass it now. Get off the treadmill, man. Start thinking for yourself. And as you think for yourself, think the way a righteous man or righteous woman would think. Ask the question to yourself, what would a righteous man or righteous woman do in this situation? And I guarantee you, a new idea will pop up in your head. And if you carry it out, you're going to do something great in the name of the Lord. So, Salakia, that's it, y'all. Politicians is obsolete.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? TikTok, politicians obsolete. Salakia.
You die.
Three people dead after gunmen targeted black people in Jacksonville, Florida, officials say.
Right, you want to wait for this or do this now? Give him 1 second, all right?
One more before.
Let's go into the Giuliani then and the Trump thing.
Connor Wakan.
Another goodie.
Connor Wakan.
Big shout out to the heavy hitters. I've been neglecting them lately, man. Big shout out to heavy. Give it up for General Muhammad up in the building. You know how you do it, man. Fix your brain. Get your brain right. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to General Michael Allah in the building.
Muhammad make life clear.
God.
God.
Damn right. And so do you. General Michael Allah. And so do you. You know what I mean? Big shout out. Give it up for General Hazayan up in the building. A warlord in his own right, man.
Damn right.
And of course, my main man, Officer Morale, Officer Yediah, Officer Akbar, various brothers and sisters up in the building with us, man. Welcome to the show. Black Watch holding it down on America on Fire, like we do every week, man. Doing this up, man. It was beautiful. Y'all started early because I think I was dragging the show about 20 minutes late every week. You understand? We've been doing this since 2007, Negroes. Like, what you upset? 2007, we've been doing it. Holding this thing down, really making sure our brothers and sisters get this word regardless of how they make it seem, you understand, with us.
Right.
You know what I mean? This knowledge is so necessary. And it's bringing life. It's coming from the Lord and it's bringing life, man. Right. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So big shout out to everybody that joined us up in here tonight. And let's get it on. So come on with it, Yediah. What you got?
Connor Wakan, sir. Federal judge sets March trial date in Trump's election interference case. Connor Wakan. The trial will begin in the middle of the Republican presidential primaries. Special counsel Jack Smith had requested a January trial while Trump pushed for a 2026 start date.
So if I could, sir, now, of course, the entire white world is enthralled in Donald Trump being for him, being against him, because Donald Trump is the first president to ever be arrested. And what I never understand is how people don't see the injustice of that.
Right.
Is that he's the first.
Right.
The Democrats, of course, think that it's right because he's the first criminal to be president?
So they think?
Yeah, that don't sound too right.
Yeah.
And the Republicans are incensed because he's a president and you shouldn't arrest him because presidents don't commit crime.
Right.
The problem with this story is that he's the first. Every president should have been arrested.
Especially Reagan.
Oh, my God. Especially, listen, the first president, George Washington, quelled a rebellion called the Whiskey Rebellion in Western Pennsylvania. And they protested because their whiskey was being taxed and they did not give them any representation. They literally did the exact same thing to the people in Western PA that the British did to them. And instead of talking to them, George Washington took troops in the Western PA and killed and unalived everybody. He should have been arrested for that.
Yep.
Ronald Reagan created crack cocaine and won wars with it. He should have been arrested.
Yep.
Thomas Jefferson was a sexual assaulter.
Yes, he was.
He sexually assaulted his slaves.
Yes, he did.
He should have been arrested.
Sure.
Thomas Jefferson was a serial killer of the North American Indians. Yes, he should have been arrested. Ronald Reagan should have been arrested. Richard Nixon should have been arrested. He was a liar, and he abused his office and committed countless crimes.
And helped deploy heroin into the ghetto.
And helped deploy heroin into the ghetto. John Kennedy was just a sexual deviant. He was some type of nasty man.
Yes.
He was some real nasty pedophile.
Yeah.
He was like Epstein.
Yeah.
John Kennedy was a straight up and down little girl.
Him and his brother.
Him and his brother.
Yeah.
Sharing women and with children, little girls.
Yeah.
John Kennedy should have been arrested. All of them should have been arrested. And meanwhile, in 2023, one gets arrested and we're going to act like it's strange?
Right.
All of them should be arrested. And I guarantee that Biden has done something. We just don't know yet. But Biden should be arrested. Why? Just because. I don't know. Just assume if he's president, he had to do something. I mean, ain't he president? He did something then. And if you investigate him, you will find something on Biden.
Yes.
Are you going to find something? Because there's no way to even get the seat without being the most corrupt, ambitious person in America.
Yeah.
You've got to do that. And this Donald Trump story, everybody cares about it. It's some stupid song with some oppressor sings with a banjo that everybody loves called Rich Men North of Richmond. Have you seen this, sir?
No.
Oh, my God.
I've heard of it. I just ain't listened to this shit.
Don't play it.
Don't play it. I mean, if you want to, you go home, because everyone who lives on a farm and thinks that they're, living a terrible life on a farm that their grandfather gave them, they feel oppressed on those farms. And they are writing songs about banjos and strumming banjos, feeling sorry for themselves. And of course, Donald Trump is their hero. And he has a song called Rich Men North of Richmond, saying, rich men north of Richmond, oppress them. And of course, they support Donald Trump, who is the richest man north of Richmond. There's no one more rich than him, and they love him. And the whole white world is enthralled in this meaningless nonsense. So like you said.
And they know they ain't gonna put him in no jails. Come on,
joking.
Man, he might win the damn White House.
Yeah.
Man, if there's any fairness left in the machines, he might get that White House again. Yeah. And if he get that White House, black people, you better get ready. Because you heard what he said. The judge told him, the judge put a gag on him and saying, you are not to say anything that is revengeful to the people that prosecute. He walked outside the court and said, if you do something to me, I'm gonna do something to you.
That's what he said.
He walked right out the courthouse and told him that. And brother, he is going to come up against him. I cannot stand. I mentioned this yesterday in the barbecue. So, did I cut you off?
No, they just made some more threats and assaults against what the judge told him not to do. He insulted the judge, he insulted the Biden administration, and like a few more other people up in the mix. He just, because he's back on Twitter now, they say. He went on Twitter and just insulted everybody against the judge's order. I haven't seen no repercussions of it yet.
Listen, they better not put him in no cage. They coming. Who they gonna send the Secret Service and come? They put him in a cage. They're gonna burn half this country down. These people gonna go crazy over this nonsense. You know what I mean? Because they think he can deliver them from the evil government that's oppressing them. Y'all don't know what oppression is. If you're a white in America and you feel oppressed, then you should really know how evil you are, because that oppression you feeling, we've been feeling it times 10 for 400 years. That oppression you feeling, that no ability to get justice, you understand, just feel like your rights being stripped away, so you feel like you not being heard, feel like laws are being made to take away your property and do it. Well, we've been doing it for 400 years. Okay, we've been feeling every single inch of it for 400 years. Now you know and understand what it is. Right on up to no hate crime bill.
Right.
No hate crime bill. That Edomite went in that store, fired on them brothers and sisters. No hate crime bill. We're gonna come to the story in a second. No hate crime bill. Meanwhile, the Asians had a hate crime bill 2 years ago. Pandemic went on, and listen, a hate crime bill, because people freaked out because they found out that the coronavirus came from Wuhan, China.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't just decide we hate Asians. They had not a just cause to do harm against them, but they had a just cause to be, distant from them. And some went off and went too far. And they immediately passed that hate crime bill to deliver them up out of the same way they used them with that, what's it called? Moral majority. When they used them to show how smart and intelligent they was and tried to make us look like we were dumb and lazy and shiftless. This has been going on for a long time, and this is exactly what went on in every empire. When an empire puts you in slavery, they can't just put you in slavery and you go to work and all that. They have to demoralize you. They have to make you less than everybody else. And otherwise, you will not stand for being a slave. Right. Like why would you say, you wouldn't say, if I'm equal with you, but why I got to get less, treated less, not be paid for what I do? I'd be like, I'm the same as him, which is what we advocated for in 1963. But if you want to keep them oppressed, you're going to have to lower them. And this is why slavery, and this is why the God of Israel, thank you, Yahweh, for your mercy upon the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel. Because this is why you need a God in the earth. You need a God in the earth, because if one nation enslaves another and sucks the resources out of that slave, out of that nation, and this nation perpetually dwindles, here's what happens. This nation becomes so powerful, they can't be stopped. And your nation becomes so weak, you're easy to be destroyed. So what it means is your existence in the earth for generations and generations is just an existence of being sucked dry, while their existence is an existence of ever growing, new inventions, more wealth, more power, more luxury, while your existence is less, more hardship, more pain, more suffering. And it is nothing worse than that in the earth. There's nothing worse than that. There's nothing worse than that, because without it, you don't really exist on the earth. You don't have, look at us. We're the only people on this planet with no existence. We have no idea who we are. We'll fight and argue and kill each other over who we are. And listen, here's the amazing part. We won't fight and kill each other over who we are because we all came up with a different idea who we are. We'll kill and fight and destroy each other over the gods of the very people that oppress us. Like, we ain't going to fight and say, I created this God. Everybody worship this God. We ain't going to do that. We're going to go kill each other over a God of one of the people that's robbing us and stealing from us and sucking us blind. It is the worst thing could ever happen to you. And understanding that, you have to find a God who is willing to come and get you when you are when you've been put into captivity. Which is why this world is so evil. Nobody understands the Bible. They don't understand it. They don't understand that book is a proof history of a God that came for the slaves. And brother, you need him on your side, because guess what? Ain't no gods coming for the Arabs. Wait till the Arabs get destroyed. Oh, they're going to bomb their countries into the Stone Age. And guess what? Ain't nobody coming down on that rock to come get them. They think they are, but they not. Same with the East Indians, same with the Chinese, same with the Russians, same with everybody. And all of them are going to, that's why the scriptures say, get me right, y'all. The scriptures say they shall throw away their gods as a minstrel cloth. Mm-hmm. You're going to throw away them gods out, and the nation's going to throw away them gods. Because why? Because you believe in a God until you go into captivity. That's when you should realize that God is no God. And when the God of Israel come for his, that's when everybody realizes that there is a God that comes for him. I could go on all night. I need to do a tape for Wednesday on it, because it's amazing. Go ahead.
So remember when they had the COVID was in full effect? What was that at? Was it Elam? Over the East Indians, they was throwing their gods in the river.
That's right. Throwing them off the bridge.
All off the bridge, the river and everything.
That pandemic.
Yeah.
During the pandemic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Pandemic came, boy. All them guys with the trinkets and earrings, all them little transvestite gods, them gods was heading over the bridge. Every last one that was going in the river.
Yes, sir.
Over in that pandemic.
Yes,
Salaki. Go ahead.
No, that was it, sir. Yeah, just to show that there ain't no God but the God of Israel. You know what I mean? They realized the pandemic came, and they praying and praying and praying to that God to help save them, and nothing happened. And they was dying at a very high rate too, sir.
Yes,
like they had
were.
one of the highest rates of death of COVID, I think, out of almost everybody. And they gods were not saving them. They took them God and tossed them right over the bridge.
And if I could just add, so I'm gonna keep cutting in.
No sweat, sir.
And one of the reasons that they had such a high rate of COVID-19 was because they were taking cow dung baths.
Yeah, that's gonna work up.
As a mean to combat the COVID-19 virus.
Mm-hmm.
These are the people
Mm-hmm.
who we look at as great. Michael
Yeah.
Jackson said those are his people.
Mm-hmm.
You go to CERN and them scientists in them big labs, they got that God with all the arms, that God, you know, that old funny God they got. They got that God, they recognizing that God. But when the pandemic came, and they called on the God said, take a bath in holy cow dung. And they did it. Wiped that dung all over them, turned and made it a nice brown mud, like a good even chocolate mud.
If you're blessed, it's cow dung.
Yikes!
The Lord is with you.
You understand? Like they did that. And we look at them like, whew, they great.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, we the great. We the great ones. We the ones, you know what I mean? If we turn to our wisdom and look at, you understand, what the Lord has done.
Yeah.
So lucky you there.
Yeah,
You understand?
if I could too, sir, right? Like that's why it's so important for Israel, you Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, you know what I mean, North, South, Central America. You got to know who you are and your heritage, because in the scriptures that tell you and give you examples of how them other gods of the nations are nothing, but you worship them like they are something. You know, they got that one sport or so-called fighting technique they call Muay Thai, and they pray to one of them gods. Them gods that's up there right there, and when they in there doing this here, the thing right here, they pray to them before they go fight. Like you worshiping all this like it's something great, and it's not. The problem is you don't know who you are. Like you don't know your heritage. You don't know you part of the greatest people that ever walked the face of the earth, man. You better read about David and his mighty men that rode with him. You know what I mean? Them was some warriors. That was some real straight warriors, some real straight killers. That was for the Lord. But that's your blood.
Yep.
That's your history. That's your heritage. And you don't know. But you gotta find out. Because you'll stop looking at everybody else like they something, and you will realize that you are something.
Yep.
Not them, but you. You'll stop looking at them like they're special and realize that I'm special. You know what I mean? And that's what we need in the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Sorry, sir.
Listen, sorry, y'all.
No, yes, sir.
Y'all bear with me a second.
Yes, sir.
2 quick points. One, brother, y'all know I'm heavy into the wrestling and judo growing up.
Yes, sir.
So I'm always watching judo and wrestling and all the latest. MMA. And brother, one, it's already bad that they putting sisters in that MMA. It's sadistic to do that to them sisters, to even give them that kind of understanding. But 2, brother, when you see them sisters get in that ring and they get in there with that same Muay Thai piece on the back of their head, their whole spirit is into them heathens, them Taiwanese and them people on the other side of the world that they knew nothing of. And they do it a ton with sisters and with our Latino tribes as well. And it's an abomination. You understand? And even in regular martial arts as well. Ton of us get caught up into their gods and into their beliefs. And it's damn near easy because you don't have one of your own.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's damn near it's easy for you to get into it.
That's right, sir.
They introducing you to something in many cases you're not familiar with because you never had a god or a belief system, which is, you know, just a horrible, horrible, evil thing to happen to us, man. And let me say this too, man. If you're a Black activist, a Latino activist, or you somebody that claims that you got wisdom and knowledge and you all about helping Blacks and helping Latinos, don't ask us to respect you if you can't even tell me who we are as a people and what our path from God is to get us out this hell. Like I don't even understand how you can be some type of Black activist and you don't even have an identity of the people you being an activist for. Even Black Lives Matter. You calling Black Lives Matter because you don't have no identity for these people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you an advocate with no identity.
Right.
That don't make no sense. But eventually, our brothers and sisters are going to rise their understanding to the level. And as they rise there, as we get closer to the end, they're gonna rise their understanding. As they do, they're gonna begin to recognize that that's supposed to be a part of us, man, our identity. And that's why big shout out to all the brothers and sisters that put their heart and soul on the line to carry this truth to the world. They've done an amazing job and continuing to do an amazing job. And brother, it's because of the works that y'all doing that this truth is coming all the way circle into our people. Please give it up for them, man. Yeah, man. Please give it up for them. You know what I'm saying? And listen, and we gaining more brothers and sisters every day in more ways than one, because we having them and we waking them up at the same time. You understand? Big shout out to Captain Kahan Yard and Sister Quashab Lawyer. Big shout out to them. They just had their beautiful, wonderful son. You understand? And we know the journey that Kahan went through to bring himself to that point. He went through hell and high water to get to that point, and the two of them came together, man. And that boy is on deck. I cannot wait to see him on Passover. When Passover, brother, when he get up in there, y'all got to spray him with Lysol, because he's gonna get 1,000 kisses from me when he get up in there. So you had to spray. Let's spray this nigga down. Kiss all over him by the time he get it. Because brother, that was a major journey that brother wore through. And once again, you understand, because of the I.S.U.P.K, good counsel. Big shout out to General Muhammad. You understand, on that good ass counsel. You understand, because of that, you understand, we are doing so much, and so unrecognized, even though it don't even matter. Me, myself, I don't even be caring if it be recognized. I be wanting the Lord to recognize it. No long as the Lord see it and the angels see it, the job gonna get done. Rather, if don't nobody see nothing, I don't even care. We could be on this show with one person, and I'll still be like, yeah, man, something, because I know the Most High. He don't care. Most of the time he deliver with less numbers. That's really how he like it. He like it with less numbers. But Brakatah to you, how for waking up so many brothers and sisters, and open up these airways. We should keep sending them prayers up every Sabbath service and keep that thing going. It's a beautiful thing. But brother, it's gonna be something to see in the near future. I'm out of it. Salaki, you die. Go on and get it in. Could I get another shot out the water, please? You die.
Come. Connor Wakan, sir. Connor Wakan. It says, outrageous. Texas school counselor forced to resign after defending student who was stepped on and called the N-word by teacher, lawsuit claims.
Break this one down if you could for the journal. You die. Please.
Oh, Connor Wakan, sir. Connor Wakan. Like it. Salaki. In his Texas school, sir, there was this school counselor who was sitting in the back of the class, and it's just in the classroom was full of special needs students, a bunch of Israel, and the counselor was Israel too, and the teacher was an oppressor.
Yes.
So the student, got into it with the teacher because the teacher tried to take the chips from the young brother. The young brother, was like, hey, don't take my chips. So the teacher decides, to go over and take him, and then pull the chair up from under the brother. Falls down. He the counselor comes up, helps him back up. The student says something else. The teacher goes to do it again. But the counselor steps in and stops her. But the young brother, still ends up tripping, and he gets up and tries to swing on the teacher and falls. And the teacher, this Karen, puts her foot on the young brother's chest.
And what was her words?
She called him a nigger as she did it. When the teacher put the foot on the young brother's chest. And the counselor was able to get him up and get the student outside. And the counselor reported this. Mm-hmm. And she ended up being forced to resign while nothing happened to the teacher.
The counselor had to resign. Let me tell you, man. The day will come, Lord willing, that we get our children totally. We need at least 2 generations out of their system. Because what they doing in their school systems out here, the day will come. We can't do it yet. But that day is going to come where we're going to separate our kids from them. Like your kid's spending 8 hours a day with some monster that, you know, when you come in for parent teacher parent conference, they, oh, hi, how are you? Good. Oh, Tommy's wonderful. Oh, we love it. We love to have him over. He always talks about good things and that. And the minute you come out the door, she turns around, you dirty and evil. She hates you. She hates you. You know what I mean? She hates that boy. And he got to spend 8 hours a day with this monster. And unless unless you take on the wisdom, knowledge of the Most High in these scriptures and advocate for them kids when they come home, then that kid will just get lost to the system, which has now gone so bad. Get me right. Has gone so bad that now they're having strip shows with toddlers. Am I right? They're having strip shows with toddlers and teaching kids the absolute wrong way. And so if you don't get in there now, okay, when them kids is going to the park and doing all the different things they doing, you got to also be in their ear. Get me right, General. Yeah. You got to be in their ear also asking them about their day. Get me right.
Yeah. Okay.
And you got to ask them about their day.
Yeah.
You got to be asking them about what their experiences are, what's going on with them. Go ahead, General. Y'all know this better than me. Y'all the masters of this game. Me, I'm hard like granite.
You must be proactive. It's like General's gonna elaborate because if you teaching them the truth, they still learning the evil. TV, cartoons, school, everywhere. So if you're not teaching them the truth, all they learning is the evil. So you got to counter it. You have to be proactive. My son wants to buy 1 million of those Chinese hair anime characters. I say, son, no. Okay, no. I said, now, if you're going to get it, we're going to have to at least dye it and paint them brown. I want them to look like Israel. Well, Dad, I'm going to mess up with the painting. He don't want to paint it.
Yeah,
but he went, and I see he love them.
Because they on there every day.
And they powerful and mighty. They got magic. It's ridiculous.
You know what I mean? I can't. No, I mean to cut you off. Listen, I'm living it. Like I'm bringing it with power. You see how like what you saying is so right. Yeah. It's so right. Like the path forward is easy. The problem is, as a man and a woman in America today, you got to decide to get on the path with Yahawashi and this and that in those scriptures. If you can get on the path, then guess what? We can get something done. Because like you said, if we don't do it, it ain't nothing wrong with the child. The child is just a child. He's supposed to learn. He's supposed to absorb. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
So he's supposed to observe. He's supposed to absorb. But the problem is he's absorbing everything they putting out.
Yep.
And listen, and Disney been evil since its incarnation.
Yeah.
Like Disney been filled with pedophiles and secret messages and all kind of disgusting madness in them cartoons. That old what's that latest one with the girl? Not the mermaid one, but the one they called it. Go ahead, sis. Frozen. That's the one. That's a movie about little girls becoming LGBT, and so well disguised. You don't even figure it out. You watching this movie for 2 hours. Like, what is this about? And you get to the very end, and it's about LGBTQ. At the very end of the movie, like, brother, we got an uphill battle. That's why every brother, every sister, every time we open our mouths about this truth, it is important. The Lord said, "My word goeth not out in vain."
Yeah,
it is important, right or wrong.
You're right, gentlemen.
Without it, there is no voice in the earth to stop that evil. There is no voice to wake us up. There is no voice to give us life. There is no voice to bring us back to who we are. If not, you'll just be a slave to another nation, or you'll be beat down under Esau's madness that he put down. It'll be him or one of the other nations, and that'll be it. Yeah. When that's not what the Lord wanted. Not for you. Not for you. You're supposed to be in your 12 tribes, in your land, man, raising up yours without no hindrance. But it'll never happen. So, go ahead.
You know, I know I used to always have dinner, right? When we had dinner, everybody had to sit down for dinner. And everybody had their turn to tell me about their day. And we started from, I think I'm going to eat. Sometimes I would start from the oldest to the youngest to the oldest. And everybody had their turn to talk. What happened today in school? What happened? And they told me all the things that happened. And they telling about it, be talking about it, breaking it down. Any mistakes made, you correct them. And then they did it right, you praise them. You know what I mean? All that. We did that for years growing up. Now, it don't happen as much now because the kids are a little bit older, XYZ, but it was something good for them to have when they were younger.
And listen, if I could, I'm sorry, I'm rude tonight. Salaki, forgive me. Take me to council later. Look, Haz's son got a scholar for what the hell craziness he into? What did he get that scholar for?
Which one, sir?
The younger one.
Scholarship. Oh, electrical engineering. Engineering.
Okay, he got it for electrical engineering. Yeah. But when he graduated,
the highest grade in physics.
What was that thing? It was
the highest grade in physics.
He got the highest grade in physics in the school. He from the ghetto. He from the ghetto. This cat, they called this. When they rolled it out, they said, "We have an award for the highest achievement in physics." I said, "Yeah, that's probably one of them Chinese or something." And they called Haz's son. I said, "Oh, he got up there like, yeah, nigga, I got this." You know what I'm saying? He strode it up, bro, and got his award for physics. This nigga grew up on Springfield.
Yeah, man. And listen, and double honors because the heathens be cheating on them.
Yes,
tests. They pay people to do their tests, you know, like that. Yeah. This cat from Springfield Avenue, and did it the legit way.
Yes.
He can't afford to pay for them tests.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And went and blew out everybody else in there and got an engineering scholar to college. That's us.
Yeah.
That's and listen, and if I could just one more, he blew it away. He did it. I was there. I saw a couple Asians sitting in there. I said, oh, they probably gave it to them. Mm-hmm. I was gonna lie to myself and say, they cheating on the test. That's why they get. They named him. What's his slave?
Yeah, slave name?
Yeah. No, Hebrew name.
Yaharanna.
Big shout out to Yaharanna. You understand? And they brought, damn right, give it up. And they brought him forth. And he ain't the only one. Muhammad's son, Ariyat, just entered law school. Right. I can't believe it. Law school. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Captain Ariyat. You understand? He grew up over on 63rd Street. You know what I mean? He grew up he grew up Silver Spoon. You know what I mean? And I wanted to say that to say this, that we did an amazing disservice to ourselves back in the 60s when they started to give us so-called welfare and required that the men be out the house. We did a disservice to ourselves. Like, we allowed them to literally break up our family so we could eat. Yep. And we did such a disservice and then pulled the brothers out. And then, of course, once the brothers got out and they cut them off of jobs and this and that, poured in all the drugs. This is created. This ain't just, we ain't bad people. We're not evil people. Mm-hmm. We erred against the Lord. We took on the sins and the gods of the other nation. We did do that. We did it. And we got punished and slammed for it. But we're not an evil, wicked nation of people. We repented from that. And by the 40s and 50s, we were working and humble and building families. We were following the slave master, joining the military, going out west, buying a house, trying to raise a family, but it wasn't enough. The slave master said, they're still doing too good. Mm-hmm. Let's go. Let's give them. First of all, let's send all they sons to Vietnam. Let's wipe out their men's population. Then, while their men is in Vietnam, let's give their women welfare. Like, this welfare to help you while your husband is gone. Then when the husband come back, make sure he can't go back into the house. And while he over there, make sure we got plenty of that good heroin so he can get addicted while he in that jungle and he under stress and he needs some relief. Let him get high on that dope. He'll bring that back to the ghetto. And then we'll just start destroying them that way. So now you can't come back to your house and you stuck on heroin from fighting that war, seeing the atrocities, because them Viet Congs was about that business when it came to winning that war. Them Viet Cong was, they was brutal. They knew how to terrorize them soldiers. If they caught you and caught your body They did things to you that made sure when your soldiers came to see it, they were deeply traumatized.
Yep.
And they got hooked on them drugs when they came back over here. When they got back over here, you couldn't even go back in the house because it was the only way she could feed herself. You couldn't even get a job. You were halfway out your mind. Iraq, too, they ain't talking about it. Half these nuts running around out here come out of that Iraq war, seeing all kind of atrocities going on over there. And then half of them they putting in the damn police force right after they come out that daggone war. That's what happened to us here. This was done. This is how you oppress. This is how you keep a people destroyed. Otherwise, guess what? There'd be a black bill just like it is an Asian hate crime bill. You telling me with all the wisdom in Congress after 400 years, they couldn't figure out a way to have a black hate crime bill? After 400 years?
Yeah.
They already knew, like I mentioned yesterday, all the white people would be doing community service in the middle of the hood because of all the crimes they committing against us. You'd have big executives, big owners of housing complexes. Donald Trump would have had to damn sweep the floor in the hood for what him and his father was doing with them window scams and throwing people out of their houses. That one that owned the basketball team, Sterling or whatever the hell his name is, him. All of them would have had to do community service because that is part of a hate crime bill. You have to go and get your sensitivity training by doing your community service among the people who you oppressed, who you did crimes against, who you did hate crimes against. And it would be so many crimes, brother, they have to lock up half of white America.
Yeah.
Please.
And if you need further proof about what Commanding General YAHANNA is saying, when they passed the Stop Asian Hate bill, there was no counter movement of stop all hate.
Right.
That didn't happen.
Nope.
They said stop Asian hate. Everybody said good, stop Asian hate. But there wasn't no, you have to stop all hate.
Right.
All hate is wrong.
Right.
That Black Lives Matter created the All Lives Matter.
Yes, it
Blue
did.
Lives Matter because you cannot help our people and not have a negative response because no one wants to help our people.
And the sad part is we don't need nobody's help. We just got to help us. Like go ahead, General, please.
Oh, no.
I was just going to say, we really don't need nobody's help. We have the Most High power. Boy, if we knew how to unleash the Most High's power, we would be amazing. And we on that path to do that now. You understand?
Go ahead,
General.
I remember this movie. I don't know if you or General Hyman told us about it, called Lackawanna Blues, and I can't find it on TV. They don't show it too much no more, right?
A good movie.
And it was a movie about how the ghetto was before integration.
Yeah.
And the ghetto was amazing. You know what I mean? You had one sister in that movie who was taking care of everybody, fed everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Husband was still doing his thing, but she still remained a faithful woman to him, right? And it showed us in a different light than what
And
you
he
said.
loved that woman.
Yes,
You know,
he did.
that's a lot.
Yeah, somebody did something. That cat lost his damn mind. Put a gun on him and everything.
Yes, he did.
But it just showed the strength that we had as a people before integration, before we got to get down with everybody. You know what I mean? Before, MLK, before Michael did his thing and lied about us and got us hooked up with a burning house from his own words.
Yeah.
It showed us coming together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the good things that can come from us coming together. We got to get that back, man. The only way we can get that back is knowing who you are, like how Commander YAHANNA is saying, man. And knowing who you are according to the scriptures.
Yeah. Yeah. And if I could, something else is going on too. And I'm impressed. There's something going on in the Black and Latino community that I am impressed at. And that is tons of brothers and sisters are now leaving social media. They're leaving social media, and they're saying we're leaving it because we want to get back focused. We want to get our college degrees. We want to get our houses in order. I'm hearing it a ton in social media. They all giving dates that they bailing out of social media. And it's a good thing. And they don't mean they're not doing it permanently, but to achieve certain goals, they recognize I got to get away from this social media.
That's right.
And they tune it out. I'm hearing it all over the place. And it's a good thing because they're going to get some of their mind back. Don't turn my show up. No, let me see. Yeah, it means they're going to get some of their mind back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Which is a beautiful thing, man, because it's going to give you a chance and a space to get back to understanding the Lord. The greatest book on the planet Earth. Greatest book ever laid on this earth. Book all about Salaki. Just to jump in with y'all.
Yeah, and it's crazy because when I found out this book was the greatest book on earth, I know it, but it was for us. You know what I mean? It was amazing. You got to realize that yourselves. Like, you got to know that this book called the Bible, the greatness of the book, is you. Like, it literally is you. Like, that's your blood.
Yeah.
That's your blood, brothers and sisters, all we from now, all we back to Adam. You got to realize that. It ain't for everybody. It's for you. That changes the game. It changes your mindset. Yeah, it changes your spirit to know that that book is for you.
If I could, sir, at the top of the hour, I believe now we're going to go into your diet of KekePalmer. There's 3 big stories I wanted to go over earlier before you were able to arrive. KekePalmer story. Yeah. Something big happened with KekePalmer and her man.
Listen, I saw a tape with Marah. Big shout out to Officer Marah. I saw a tape with Marah talking about that KekePalmer. Marah, you better say something in here tonight about that KekePalmer, brother, because I heard that tape with you about KekePalmer. You ripped her down in some class. I said, damn. Right there, tear it up. So like, I didn't mean to cut it on.
It was another. It was KekePalmer. What was the other one? Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey.
Something happened this week with Steve Harvey. We'll be going over tonight. Steve, it was one more. And of course, the mass murder in Jacksonville, Florida, and the attempted or mass murder today at the University of North Carolina, which started in an HBCU.
That's right.
And we'll go over those right now if we could, sir.
Please, let's do it. I just want to say this. If Broad take $200 million from me, I'm going to the penitentiary. Come on with it.
Go ahead, you die.
I'm joking.
Whenever you're
I'm joking, TikTok. You don't know I'm joking.
Connor Wakan, sir.
Let's do it.
Connor Wakan. 3 people dead after gunman targeted black people in Jacksonville, Florida, officials said. 3 people were killed Saturday in a racially motivated attack after a gunman targeted black people at a Dollar General in Jacksonville, Florida, and one of the weekend's shootings that again shocked Americans in public places, from stores to football games to parades. This shooting was racially motivated, and he hated black people.
If I could, sir, this is, of course, becoming normal in American society. I believe they have about 300 a year of these mass shootings in America. This one, he went to a HBCU university first. I believe your diet might have the name of the school in Florida.
That's right.
He went there wearing tactical gear and looking like the average
serial killer.
But the students were weary of him. The students profiled him. They went and alerted the security guards. The security guards tried to approach him to stop him. He ran off. And he left the HBCU. You have some of your diet? Let me know if you do. Go ahead, please.
Edwards University.
Edwards University in Florida. So he fled from the school because the students profiled him. They looked at him and knew he was dangerous.
And Jacksonville is
Florida.
Poor as dirt.
My God.
Like like most of you ain't never even heard of that HBCU.
No.
Because they poor as dirt. Like them kids going to that school is, the few that struggle through all of the damn dirt in the hood and got into college, you know what I'm saying? And trying to get a little something. That's who he coming to kill.
Jacksonville, Florida, you're liable to have no plumbing down there.
Yeah.
You live in a house with no plumbing, where you go into the bathroom outside.
That's a real thing.
That's serious.
That's a real thing. You know what I mean? Down there. So lock it.
Go ahead. And this monster is going to unalive them at school.
Yeah.
But he got chased away because they saw him coming and they realized who he was. He went to the Dollar General in another very poor, predominantly black neighborhood, and he unalived 3 people, brothers and sisters in this Dollar General. You die.
There you go, right there. Connor Wakan, sir. Connor Wakan. Walters said the shooter, who was described as a white man in his 20s, shot and killed himself after the attack. The suspect left behind what the sheriff described as 3 manifestos outlining his disgusting ideology of hate and his motive in the attack. All 3 victims, 2 men and 1 woman, were black. Waters said the shooter lived in Clay County, Florida, south of Jacksonville with his parents. Jacksonville was located in the northeast Florida, about 35 miles south of the Georgia border. Waters said the shooter told his father by text to check his computer. The father found documents described by Waters as manifestos and called the authorities.
Now, this is the second time in a short period of time. Buffalo was the other one, correct? Where they went into some supermarket where we're at and shot up the brothers and sisters in that supermarket. Now, just feel this for a minute. They got an Asian hate crime bill. Right. Ain't nobody going in no Asian store shooting them Asians up because they full of hate of them. Like this right here, and I don't know why, but for some reason, it particularly bothered me how he stepped out that store with that assault rifle and shot that 50-year-old woman in her car, probably buying groceries or something for a grandkid. Anybody buying in the dollar store, it's the dollar store. You buying, you know what I mean? You going cheap, you getting a few things, you know what I'm saying? And then this cat come right outside, man, and raise a rifle on her for absolutely no reason and blast her through that car like that. You understand? Like, brother, that's like the heinousness of what they get away with. And once again, no hate crime bill. You know, keep smiling. No hate crime bill. It's vile. It's vile. Go ahead, General Slug.
Think about, General, how you bring out how they put our face behind the whole Donald Trump going to prison. Like they put the black woman is doing this. This black is evil black, like she trying to get Trump in jail, which is triggering all his fans and all, you know, the white radicals.
They ain't mad at Congress no more. They ain't mad at the January 6th Congress no more. You know, man, and we said it anyway, did we not? I don't mean to cut you off. We said it, didn't we not say it? They was gonna turn it on us. We the easy ones to kill. A lot of you run around thinking you a gangster, man. You the easiest to kill because this beast ain't gonna kill. He ain't coming in onto your hood where it's 10 of y'all standing there and you strapped. He gonna go kill your mama at the Dollar General store, dummy. That's what he gonna do. You know why? Because the 10 of you standing on some other corner, instead of guarding that Dollar General, instead of coming together and owning that Dollar General, instead of pouring them funds back into that neighborhood so that you can cut that damn beast off, man. Right. When you gonna care about your own? When you gonna break from that and protect and watch over your own? You still listening to them with a kumbaya love spirit, but you a gangster. But you tough. You don't know what to fight for. Listen, you a real warrior, but you don't know what to fight for. And that's why you need to come see me. I know how to show a warrior what to fight for. I know exactly how to show a warrior. This is what you fight for. This is how you really come up if you trying to come up. You understand? Instead, you've been turned into an animal to pillage and rob and dope up your own. Meanwhile, your mama getting shot up at the dollar store. Like, this is not right, man. This is not right. And it's not right that you use your youth and your strength. The scripture, the Lord said this: follow him while thou art young. Get it for me, you die. You know where that's at. Get that for me. He said to follow him while thou art young. You know what I mean? And that's how you do it. That's how we came in, brother. I came in a young buck. You understand me? Look at my sister right there. She was young too. She was an old teeny bopper too. We running around in Harlem. You understand? Young, don't know nothing. Jehovah's Witnesses knocking on our door. What's this? What? We got down to Harlem and found the truth and been there ever since we was young. That's what you do. You know what I mean? Damn right. You do it from your youth. You know what I'm saying?
I looked up Castle Hill projects this week.
Yeah.
It is on record, the most dangerous project in New York
I
City.
tried to
right
tell
now
her.
Today. Right now, we sitting here.
I try to tell him.
And
yeah,
Neil deGrasse Tyson. Go up in that same building.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good ground.
That's good ground.
Commander Julia. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I'm trying to tell him. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some jewels in there. You know what I mean? Like, them same killers is also, wise as hell if you can get them, if you can draw them out. You know what I'm saying? If you can get them out of the clutches of this daggone beast, you can get something done. You know what I mean? And that's why the Lord said, you find it? Read it for me right quick, and I'm going to get above it.
Khan, sir.
This is heinous the way this man killed his sister. Huh? And listen, and that's hard to defend from. Even if you strapped, you sitting in your car, and some cat busts open the doors
with a rifle, even if you strap and he got on a vest, you in a war zone. You know what I'm saying? He firing. He hit her 11 times in that car. 11 times he hit her with that assault rifle, y'all. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'll come back to it. I might have the wording wrong. I probably got the wording wrong. Which one? Which two you got? Let me see Ecclesiastes 12:1 first.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth.
That's it. Remember the Most High in the days of your youth, man. You hearing us teach about this truth. You young, you got strength, you better come join us out because you're going to waste your life. I saw a beautiful tape this week, if I could. Sorry, y'all. Hogging the night. Salakia. I saw a beautiful tape this week, man, on TikTok. And this brother was a gangster, man. He was an ex-gangster. You could see all his tats. He laying in the bed. And he said, man, I want to say something to you young brothers out there. He said, that cat that you taking revenge on, he said, the reason you taking revenge on is because your big homie ripped off somebody from his crew 2 generations ago. You don't know it. You going out killing. You don't even know what you committed to. He said, and he started running them down. He said, because your big homie 2 generations ago robbed this person, or your big homie he said, so you need to be thinking about who it is, you understand, that you tying yourself to and who you ride or dying with. He said, because you riding and dying over stuff that one of your own big homies did wrong to somebody 2 generations ago that started this whole war. So know what you riding and dying for. And he said, boy, I should have kept that tape. He said it was so right and true. We having gang wars and the young boys don't even know what they fighting over. You understand? Which is why us being on that corner, man, has been the best thing ever for brother. I know it was for me. It was the best thing that ever happened for me. Because you just read how Castle Hill was, and I know where I was going. I was going right there because you had to go there, even if you're not an animal. If you're not an animal, how can you grow up in the environment of an animal? You will transform into an animal. I don't care who you are. You want to survive. Like the greatest instinct in a human being is to survive. So whatever it takes for you to survive, you will adapt to that environment and you'll become that thing. And who wants to do that when you don't have to? And if you have to become an animal, at least let it be for something greater than you.
Right.
At least let it be for something worth, dying for.
That's right.
At least let it be something here when your babies come up, your nation come up. At least let it be that you done broke the chains of slavery off of somebody. Read it for me, you die, and I'll get out the way.
Wakana, Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, that when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
Right. Do it now, he said, because them evil days coming. You're going to be older at a later time. So go fix that thing with the Most High now. Use that strength and energy to build that nation up now. And then when you old, listen, look, thanks to y'all, brother, you understand, and the brothers in this truth, I'm older now. I'm in a beautiful place. I'm among the brothers, the camps, all over the country. We get ready to go up to Scotland because we put down the grind in our youth. And now, Muhammad was 22 years old when he came with me. 22, he couldn't even hardly close the car, though. He was so crazy. Oh, crazy Philly cat. I can't do. I put them both up in the car, man. They went to New York with me. I'm in there treating them like hell. They leaving the gate. We leave the store. We got a whole grocery store. I done spent thousands of dollars. We can grow a whole grocery store. We leave out the store in the evening, time to go home. They leave the gate up. We gone in the middle of Spanish, in the middle of the South Bronx. I drive by to check on the store about 2 o'clock in the morning. The store up, lights on, people walking by, knocking on the glass like ding, 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 ding. Y'all open? Hey, you open? What's up? Ain't nobody in the store. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I was giving them hell back there, Salaki. But we was warring to build something. We was trying to get this truth out and bring it back to the power that it should be. And that's what all you young brothers should do, man. Build this, man. Get them cans up. Get this work going, because later it's going to mean something to everybody. Mm-hmm. Christ said that the truth is like a mustard seed. Yeah. You know what I mean? Such that the birds sit in. I'm done. I don't mean to go on with it. Damn right. You damn right. You understand? So
Go ahead, you die. We still on this, right? Or we done?
Past the time sake.
Okay, keep going. Salakia. A hell of a killing, man.
Kind of a concert. After all that talk, fans have mixed feelings after KekePalmer goes back home to her son's father weeks after his mom-shaming rant about her provocative dance with Usher.
We'll go to Mariah.
Mariah, you chime in when you want to say something about it. Once he do. Whenever you're ready. If you're feeling it, only if you're getting the vibe. What I was gonna say is that they mad at her. I mean, they mad at the brother. They ain't mad at her. They mad at him because they mad at her for going back to him after he said what he said, like about mom shaming her. Okay, which is crazy.
That's what I couldn't get. What the backlash was.
The backlash is they don't want her to go back to him. She got a baby with him, and they don't want her to go back with him because he mom shamed her.
I got you.
You know what I mean? They want her to just dump him when he was right to mom shame.
Damn, right.
If it's even true, who the hell knows? But if he did, it was so right. Like mom shaming her was to benefit her child. Her child don't have to see her naked behind being squeezed up by Usher. You understand? On a stage, you put something on the internet, it's on there for life. Forever. Like she don't have, her kid don't have to see that. And of course, she's dumb as a blackboard until you write something on it. You understand? So of course, she don't know better than the damage that she's caused, nor do she even care. Like they teaching our sisters to be monsters out here. You understand? And so that's what this beef I'm understanding is about. Am I right?
You want to say something, you done?
Well, I was going to add what the Commander General was saying. Well, Commander General said it's so heavy. And the other side to that, you got some brothers that is upset. Like, how could she go out there and do all that with Usher and you be willing to take her back?
That's the listen. You right.
If I could,
please, you know the expert on.
Let me tell you, if I could, a lot of black women. Okay, you're about to go through something like right now that I could call growing pain, or you're finally getting what you asked for. Commander General YAHANNA brought up something in history earlier, when he said throughout the 70s, black men left their homes and black women wanted men out of their homes for the sake of being able to get welfare. Yep. And so you have, I think, a generation of people that do not know what it's like to have a man around the house.
Listen, even if she didn't want him out, she had to get him out if she was going to feed these babies. To get this milk in this baby, she got to put this brother out, hide him in the closet. Some sisters was trying to keep him, but this beast sent them workers in the house, looking in the closet for his men's shirts,
for shoes,
looking going to laundry, looking for his drawers.
That's right.
Is his drawers down in there? Up, we cutting you off. Right. I mean, that was hell. So I get to cut you.
What you're saying is so true. And okay, many of you, go ahead.
Just it ain't so different now.
Yeah,
they got Section 8. It's still the same type of rule.
Come on, man.
And so, because of it, many of you do not know what it's like to have a man around, and you've been complaining about it for I think 30 years.
Wow.
You've been saying, why don't fathers get involved?
Damn.
Why don't you get in your child's life? Right. Why don't you stay in the house? You're about to have men around the house, and they don't like you dressing like a whore.
That's right.
They don't like you dancing with Usher. Right. Now, you are going to hate it. I tell Commander Juliana all the time. The one sister I always look at is the one that says, General Muhammad, can you be my father? I want you to be my father. Can you be my father? I'll go, okay, daughter. Listen, get off of the internet dressed like a whore. Stop doing this. Before you know it, I hate you, General Muhammad. I can't stand you. I'm leaving the truth. Because I know that when they say they want a father, they don't even really know what they're asking for.
That's right.
Like in their mind, they're asking for someone to, to say they're pretty.
Yeah.
To agree with them. Yeah. To help them down the aisle.
Help them when they're down.
But they do not want to be shamed.
Right.
And I'm telling you, black men, Hispanic men, they are waking up.
Yeah.
And they're going to want to be involved in that kid's life.
That's right.
Yeah. They're going to want to have a say.
Yeah.
That's right.
About what you wear and about what the kids do.
Yeah.
And so many of you women that have been complaining about male participation for 30 years, you are going to hate it when you finally have a father around.
That's right.
When you finally have a man around that house. Go through the pain.
That's it.
You will adjust to this. It's something you got to adjust to. You got to say, I'm used to dressing how I want to dress.
Right.
And the baby's father says nothing because he doesn't want to go to jail for child support. The baby's father says nothing because he feels powerless.
Yeah.
So many men for 30 years have felt like they have had no power to say anything about the life of that child or their own woman.
That's right.
Because they can't afford to give her a place to live. The state does that. They can't afford to feed the child. The state does that. They don't feel empowered to have an opinion about how she dresses.
And you press a button on your cell phone and 2 fully girded centurions show up at your door. Like, it's an amazing thing. It's like you go, boop, poof, 2 white men in your living room. You know what I mean? Like, standing there, you sitting on your couch, and there's a 9mm on an Edomite standing next to you. Sir, get about the chair. Get about the chair in your house, in your chair that you paid for. Get about that chair, and throwing you in the street for, because she don't want you telling her how to dress, or she don't want you telling her, like, the laws in here is why this goes on. Now, listen, women got to be protected too. Right? Sisters got to be protected because some of y'all are crazy out there, okay? So make no mistake, we're not saying it's a one-sided thing, but I'm telling you, like, the things, the 90% of the things that are going on with our children in the street, and I didn't mean to cut in on you, General. I know this is your thing. You know what I mean? 90% of the things that's going on with our children in the street are going on because that man doesn't have the power to stop it. Men instinctively stop out of controlness. It's a man mechanism. Men instantly control things. That's what they do. And when that is gone, then everything goes. Now, some women try to do it to the best of their ability too, but it ain't done like it's done when a man does it. Right. And brother, that is how our kids got spilled into the street. And now we got a mess on our hands. Like, the Lord ain't a dummy. Like, he put a man and a woman together to be over this child. Like, this child takes so much work to become an adult. He got to have 2 Israelites take care of him. Not one. Otherwise, he'd make you have children like a chicken do. You pop an egg out your behind and sit it in the closet for a few months, and boop, one day you hear, it'd be a little Negro in the closet in the basket. He don't do that. You understand? You take 2 adults to raise that baby. And that's a lot of work. That means there's a lot of work goes into him. But this beast has taught us to disregard that and care about you, yourself, your fun, your everything, and forget about him. So lock your gentleman.
But the Commander General YAHANNA is saying, so it's so true. It's going to hurt a little bit because men are getting involved in something you thought was your domain. Yeah. Which is how you dress and the kids. Yeah. Just let him get involved. Just let him. You'll get through it. Everybody, we'll all become a nation again that has a family at home. Yeah. That have the say of a woman and the say of a man. Some stories like this you'll hear, and everybody will get upset because a man wants custody of his children. Yeah. Well, I thought you wanted men to want their kids. I thought this is what you've been asking for 30 years. It'll hurt because you'll feel the loss of power. In the end, you'll be more protected for it. So just let it happen. Let the families come back together. Let women want what they want for the best interest of the kid. Let the men want what they want. In the end, we'll become something that I thought we all wanted, which is 2 parents in a home raising children. Yeah.
And if I could just add one more to what you're saying, which is so heavy and right. And a big part of it is putting the kid above you. Like, if the kid is the most important thing, then the decisions ain't gonna bother you as much. You're gonna be on the same page. I mean, I could be wrong on this. Y'all get me right. It's like, if we both trying to open this bottle of wine, then if I come up with a good suggestion, you ain't gonna be mad about it. And if you come up with a good suggestion, I ain't gonna be mad about it, because we both trying to get this right goal. But if one of us trying to get this thing open and one of us don't give a damn about it, then of course it's going to be difficult to come together on a good consensus on how we deal with this. The kid got to be, they're a human being when they get here. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, bring them to me. I know what to do.
And sir, I can't even imagine even a woman in the world who's a prostitute cannot think that it's better for the child that KekePalmer dances naked with Usher. That there's no way that that's, even if you've been damaged in your life, you don't think, well, the best thing for the child is for her to be naked next to Usher. No one thinks that. So then why fight for something like that unless you just must have power that you don't want to give up to this man that you wanted to give your body to?
Can I, since you said that, so this will be the last, I'm going to hit him one last time and I'm going to get up off it. Since you said that, a lot of you sisters have damaged sisters' parent card. And I'm going to tell you how. Like, you wanted to be respected as the parent and have all this power, but you killing by the tens of thousands in the abortion clinic. It's kind of hard for somebody to respect you as a woman that, cares about these kids when you getting a reputation for the same way brothers getting a reputation for killing each other. You getting a reputation for killing your babies. Yeah. So it's kind of hard for somebody to be like, yeah, she should have power. Yeah, you should give way to her. Yeah, you should try to understand her point of view. It's kind of hard when it done got so easy because of the brainwashing to do that. The beautiful part of all of this, Christ forgave us for our sins. And since he forgave us all for our sins, let's try to start this thing all over again. Let's try to bring these kids first. Because, boy, they're going to pay off in the end. They're going to pay off in the end. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's one less kid that's going to go to the prison. One less kid going to go to the grave. One less kid that's going to waste their entire life. I look at some of these young brothers, man. They full of strength and energy and style and flavor and power. And I look at them and I see they're going to waste every ounce of it. This is going into the drain. And I bet you these Edomites love it. They love it when they see you dumb and simple and doing things that get you locked up and doing things that's why they got you on the news when you go up in the store and snatching stuff out the bag. I bet you they love it when they see it because they say,
You know it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because they say, look how dumb they are. Look at them. And they know that really you could be owning the stores. And they know it. You could be owning the neighborhood. And they know it. And they get no resistance. You know what I mean? We was just up in Harlem. I'm up in Harlem. Edomites in their spandex pants with their poodles out there jogging right through you. The bongos playing, weed smoking, people falling out, dope fiends falling out. They out there, dum, 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 having a good time. Like, oh, yeah, the jungle is the jungle. It's rough. Dum, 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 having a good time jogging through there. You understand? Getting ready to go back to their downtown job. We have to wake the hell up. So,
you just activated.
Please, come on with it. Come on.
What I would like to just do, I know there's an outrage on social media, and there's always something about the battle of the sexes in the black community.
Yeah.
It's like black men and black women hate each other. And it really fuels a lot of social media.
Yeah.
Our hatred for one another.
Yeah.
What I would like to do is just try to make women understand, what men are going to start to do, because men are not going to be the way they were. Nope. Like, you can feel it happening where they're going to change. Black women grow up poor with us in the ghetto, Hispanic women too. But when it comes to a child, the amount of power that women have had over kids, I don't think even they know consciously how much power they have had until you try to take some away from them.
Yeah.
Do you know that, okay, we know about being in the streets and we commit crimes and we might unalive someone. Can you imagine being able to unalive a child without discretion? Like, you could have an abortion. You could have 5 of them. No one can even say anything. Let me tell you about something else that blows my mind when I think about it. Even black men, we for 50 years have not thought that if she is allowed to kill the child, why do I have to pay for the child if she decides to have it? Brother, I don't think men even think that. I think men in the world do this. Well, I can't have a baby of my own. You hear this all your life. Well, a man can't have a baby, so I don't have the right to decide if she has one. The woman has one and then says, give me all your money. And a man never thinks, damn, I ain't got the right to keep my money. She has the right to kill the child. But I don't even have even think I have the right. And brother, for 30 years, we've gotten in this battle with men.
That's right.
Go ask a black man If a woman has the right to take the child's life, he's going to say, well, since I'm a man, I don't have any right to make that decision. That same man does not have the right to keep his money in his pocket.
And if I could, the money is Salakia, General. The money is one thing, but he doesn't even have the right to say, I do not want her to kill his baby.
Good
like
Lord.
that.
That's
like
the
that's,
point.
That, right. Like that's
right.
Like he supposed to have the right to say, you know what? Nah, you can't kill this baby. You know what I mean? We had this baby together. You pregnant now. We need to sit down and talk, because Esau done advocated that's her body. You can't say nothing about it. And it's an evil, heinous thing to do. And that great power, like you said, is now brothers is going, because brothers are so tired of the shame of, you know, the deadbeat dad, the not being in their kid's family, and they looking at this street, and this street is frightening to brothers. Like they looking at this street and seeing how their kid gonna end up, and it's frightening.
That's right.
And they now like getting a different mindset to come in there and get it on. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, but we got to come together in the spirit and work together on it. I'm not knocking the sisters all the way with it too, because a lot of brothers have also advocated to lose those children as well. A lot of brothers are like, I ain't trying to take care of no baby, and have denied. And tons of brothers get a sister pregnant. As soon as she had that baby, he's out. Like fun is over, responsibility time, he's gone. You know what I mean? It happens every day. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? And so you can bring arguments on both sides. On the other side, you can argue the fact that a ton of sisters, they said 40%. You listen to this good. 40% of the children born in America to Black and Latino children, 40% of the fathers that claim these children, 40% of those claims are false. They're not the father. So you got arguments on both sides. How do you solve it? Rules is how you solve it. Where do those rules come from? The scriptures. The scriptures has rules that make it really, really clear that even if you don't like it, that you got to deal with them rules. Like another rule. Ain't nobody gonna like this. I'm saying anyway. Sister, the scriptures say, for all my sisters out there that be calling me complaining, the scriptures say that his body is not his, but yours. That's what the Bible says. That man better deal with you benevolently. If he don't, call the council. I'm telling you right now, my hymen like, oh Lord. Call that nigga the council. Any brother that does not take care of that sister benevolently, especially in here, if I don't approve you to get married in here and you defraud, that's a crime. That's a biblical crime to defraud your rib. Don't get it in if you don't want. It's a crime. You cannot defraud her. If she bring you to counsel, I'm telling you, it's gonna cost you. We're gonna balance this thing out. We're gonna all go back to the rules, man, that the Lord laid down. And if we go back to them rules, then guess what? We're gonna raise some amazing children.
That's right.
We're gonna raise, and the Lord, brother, the Lord transformed this nation. You know, I talk about it all the time. The Lord transformed this entire nation in one generation. We went out in that wilderness. By the next generation, we was a whole totally different people. Right. We was a mess when we got out there in that wilderness. By the time we went over there and burned down Jericho, brother, we was a well-oiled monster machine of the Most High. And so it don't take that much. It don't take that much at all for the Lord to fix this thing. Come.
You brought out something heavy in New York about them Hellcats.
Come.
Oh man,
you got a chance to look it up.
Not yet.
Come.
Boy, to have Israel protect, we need to protect each other. Specifically I.S.U.P.K. We need to protect. We can protect this nation, man. They give us that authority, give you that authority. Yep. You get some brothers, man, to protect these neighborhoods and these nations. We police,
right?
Fairly and justly police ourselves,
right?
We need to get to that. So,
and if I could, man, what you saying is so heavy, because it would be so easy if we just once again went by the rules, like the Lord said to not join them other nations. He said to not be apart with them other nations. Now, if you in your neighborhood and every nation is eating off of you, then how can you tell a young brother, listen, man, let's guard and protect this neighborhood? You actually protecting the people who's eating you. So what you saying is so heavy in that there's rules that come with that. But it ain't just put on a uniform and make sure don't nobody rob nobody. It's more than that. It's also making sure that the brothers that protect that neighborhood also control some of the wealth coming in there and are taken care of by it. Right or wrong? It's also the fact that they're not allowing other nations to come in and pillage that nation.
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
Yeah, like everybody else's neighborhood.
Yes.
I read a story a little while ago, not too long ago, how some Edomites got into it with these Asians because they thought they was opening up a store in their neighborhood. And they said, this isn't your neighborhood, it's our neighborhood. Don't bring that here. We don't want that here. And made a big deal about it. You know?
Yes, and should have.
I can say one thing about Mike said, that's another thing about that's a change that's happening. When that is completely not what we're used to. In white neighborhoods, they would never allow the Vietnamese and the Arabs to open up stores in those neighborhoods. Never. Bentonhurst, Staten Island, Howard Beach. If you tried to be anything other than white, the outrage would be incensed. The mayor would come out, they would leave. Us as black people, brother, I don't even know what that feels like to have a feeling of this person is a Chinese person. He has a business in my neighborhood. It would be so comfortable to me. I wouldn't even notice it. Now that will change. And it'll be something different that people are not used to. Blacks and Hispanics, we are excellent neighbors. White people are terrible neighbors. And we know that. And when we see Chinese people in our neighborhood, we don't think to ourselves, this is ours.
Right.
That feeling does not exist. And it's like, and if it starts to happen, it will change everything. The feeling of being empowered. You've seen it happen with black men a little. You're going to see it happen with black men in these neighborhoods. Where they're going to see a store open up, an Arabic word selling fried chicken. You know, the Arabs sold us fried chicken. There was no revolt.
There was no revolt.
There was no feeling of how dare you come in here. It was so normal and comfortable to us because we have been emasculated. The minute we feel a little more powerful, somebody's you're gonna see a crowd out in front of a Chinese fried chicken place. The news will be out when the crowd is standing outside. Just like it would in the white neighborhood.
Because you know what's normal? When I grew up learning, and just what you're saying, I'm thinking about it now. That term, we all heard it. They need to open up here. They need to open up. It's never we need to do this.
We don't feel we have any say. And that has been like that for 50 years.
400 years.
400 years. It's starting to happen where we feel like, wait a minute, that's not my job. What is my neighborhood? That feeling is gone, but it is having an awakening. Barakatah Yahweh, while Yahweh shine.
And I think it's because of the I.S.U.P.K.
I know why.
That's why.
And the one goddamn reason.
Right.
I remember Commander Juliana said this in 1995. I wasn't even in the truth. I was just watching the camp. I know you remember this too, Mayak and Haas. We go out to the camp. Juliana came down from Harlem, from headquarters, come to Philly. And he said, you black women, right now you think you got all the power. But one day that 911 is going to get shut off. And when you call the police over your man for a simple argument, you're going to pick up the phone and you'll hear a dial tone. And that happened in 2021. Remember that with the COVID-19 virus. They're calling the cops. And I'm doing like this, like it's still, you get my point. Like they're calling, they're on the cell phone. And a busy signal. And I remember it set me back. I said, oh my God, it happened. It happened. He said that if you keep depending on the police to emasculate your husband and call the cops on him for no good reason, you're going to pick up that phone one day and hear a busy signal. And that happened. Well, watch what else happens. Just sit down.
That pandemic was a wake-up call for a lot of sisters. A lot of sisters got right after that pandemic because that pandemic, that 911 didn't go through. It was like, whoa, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? Listen, I had the heat with me. I was getting calls all over Israel. Can you come get us? Because we trying to go from here to over there, and they all out there and riding in the star. I said, yeah, I'm coming here. I come around the corner. I got a whole I got Mogadishu in the back seat of the car. Yeah, come on, hop on in. We good. let's get on up out of here. I had all that going over, and it was beautiful. It felt so. And here's the sad part: is it was so sad, not sad, but so true. It felt like purpose. It felt like as a black man, finally, I became an essential worker. Like I was like the pandemic. I was an essential worker, and it wasn't in no Edomite store. I was an essential worker, making sure Israel got from A to B, and it felt amazing. And that's how it should be. And I can't wait till them days come back. And brother, you just said something, Mom, that was so heavy. I mean, we was in slavery when we had to take hot grease that they would otherwise burn us in or use to take feathers off a chicken. And we turned around and came up with a way to cook that chicken in that hot grease with flour and made fried chicken from slavery and had to eat that way. And then the Arabs come from all over the world, don't even speak our language, serve a God that is from the desert that ain't got nothing to do with us, and set up right in our neighborhood and sell us the very chicken that we cook.
And we're enemies to America and terrorists.
Terrorists.
And still came into our neighborhoods and we went and started buying the chicken. And not even thinking, not even feeling like we had a say.
Yes. And not to mention, all the black businesses were shut down. And it was easy for them to come in because after the civil rights movement, all the black businesses was damn closed. Yeah. So 70s and 80s, all of a sudden, boop, 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 boop. And now something just so heinous is happening in the hood. And that is those smoke shops that's popping up every damn where. Come on, Marah, I'm waiting on you. Like it popping up every damn where. Right or wrong. Every damn where they popping up. And brother, it's heinous. It's destroying every neighborhood. It's turning it into a real ghetto. Go ahead, Marah. I'm waiting on you. Go ahead. I know you know about this.
If I made it talk about the prophesying, sir, that happens in the I.S.U.P.K, General Hyman said that all they do is make your smoke and your weed different kid flavors that kids like. All in them smoke shops is nothing but all types of little like flavors you wouldn't even put together. Grape and this other flavor.
Right.
It's like for kids.
Right.
And then listen, no lie, sir. I pull up to the gas station. I get out the car. I'm just trying to get a bottle of water and a Red Bull because it was late. And a little young man came up. He said, "Man, you got gas?" I said, "No, brother." I'm like, but it didn't hit me because we out the world. I know. And then when I got back to the car, I said, he just asked me if I had some weed. I said, and in the stores is games. They in there playing the game, playing the little games in the store, trying to buy candy flavored drugs, if I may, sir.
And of course, the heathen eating it all night, middle of the night, all of that going to them, and them saying like slavery is the worst thing that could ever happen to you. It's the worst thing. The worst thing that could ever happen to you as a people. And it is why it's supposed to be your number one priority to get out of. It's a lot.
Right, gentlemen. That's right. Colonel Khan, University of North Carolina faculty member is killed in campus shooting and a suspect is in custody, school says.
Keep going.
Colonel Khan, sir. A suspect is in custody after a shooting at the University of North Carolina at a Chapel Hill on Monday afternoon left a faculty member dead and prompted students and others to shelter in a place for hours as police look for the gunman, school officials said. Shots were fired at 1:02 p.m. at the school's Cardi laboratories, and the suspect was taken into custody shortly after 2:30 p.m. The names of the faculty member and the suspect were not immediately released. It was too early to know a motive for the shooting, UNC Police Chief Brian James said.
This one just happened today, sir. So they don't.
Oh, this happened today.
This happened today.
Dang,
they don't know.
Nobody know nothing about it.
Yeah, they don't know much about it. That's him right
there.
Chapel
Hill. That's North Carolina, right?
Yeah, Chapel Hill. The University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill.
Big shout out to Captain Nathok and his whole team. Iraq all them warriors out there, man, putting in their bid.
And the captain out.
That's Durham, I meant. I think it's Durham, not Raleigh, but Durham, North Carolina. It's North Carolina.
There you go. Come. So this happened right now. Maybe by the time we get off the show tonight, they'll have more specifics about why he did it. But he killed, unalived somebody at college today.
And that college, I could be wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, Chapel Hill is predominantly us.
I don't know.
I'm not certain, but I believe it's predominantly us. Chapel Hill, the university at University campus at North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I'm almost certain that is UNC is a very pro-black college.
Yeah. How many were killed, Yedaya? And were they us?
One was killed, sir. And 2 others were shot.
Was it Israelite?
I'm looking for that now.
And if I could, just to add while he's looking it up, the atmosphere in this empire is like you could kill if you frustrated and mad and you got to kill somebody, go kill us because you're gonna have if you even get caught, you're gonna have the least problem. Yeah. And that's why we got to cultivate our resources as brothers and sisters so that they can't just walk up in our Dollar Generals or in our supermarkets like Buffalo and just do whatever they want to us. You know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous, man.
If I could, sir, presidential candidate, I believe he's the 3rd leading presidential candidate, Vivek Ramaswamy. After those 3 people got killed in Jacksonville, Florida, he came on a news show and said that these type of racial incidents happen because black people are complaining about racism. He said it. And the whole set was down. Are you blaming them because they got shot? He's saying as long as white people feel under attack, feel like you want reparations, feel like you want to get affirmative action, they feel under attack, and it creates racial division, and that's why some of them are unaliving you. He is the 3rd leading Republican challenger, and he's up in the polls.
You gonna believe it? You gonna make my head pop up. Yeah. You have got to be kidding me. So in other words, we can't complain about what's happening. Now, America is a land of protest, free speech, First Amendment rights, yada, yada, yada. But we can't complain about anything that happens to us because it causes white people to shoot us. And it's our fault.
He said it.
Like these people, man, they got to get what the Lord got coming for. They got to get the most highest punishment, man, because this is crazy.
That same one, I don't even know his name. I forget his quote. I want to get his quote exactly, but he claimed that black prosecutor attacking Trump. She's like the modern Ku Klux Klan. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine.
And then said said he's never seen, he's never heard, and never witnessed any white supremacy in America.
And now he's the 3rd running candidate. Like, they want us to disappear and die. They want us to keep going. They want us to disappear and die. The nerve of him to say that means he got absolutely no empathy for us. He got absolutely no mindset for our life, for what we suffer, for what we go through. He's devoid of any understanding of it. And which is why we should be devoid of him.
Right.
We should be devoid of them. We should know which hotels they own. We should know which fast food restaurants they own. We should know all their businesses so we can be just as devoid when they say our businesses are closing because they will not come and shop with us. This is racism against us. We should say we're not complaining. You shouldn't either. Don't complain. Let's not complain about racism. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what need to happen. Damn that, man. This is horrific.
Ramaswamy.
Right. His name sounds like a hustler. Ramaswamy. He wrapped something on his head and hustle you for a few dollars. What we got? I was gonna go. That's it. You got anything else before we go? That's it. 12 at 10:59. Hey, listen, man. I hope you join me.
Can I quote him?
Come on.
This that damn Ramaswamy. He said, "I'm sure the boogeyman, white supremacist, exists somewhere in America. I've just never met him. Never seen one. Never met one in my life. Right? Maybe I'll meet a unicorn sooner, and maybe those exist too."
Wow. Wow.
He said that the day of the shooting in Jacksonville, Florida.
Wow.
The day of that.
Wow. And meanwhile, he ain't racist. No, he ain't racist at all. And meanwhile, we don't never wake up and see the tie. And here's the thing, boy, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful as we wake up and they come to us like, why y'all? Like, let me tell you something. Martin Luther King was vile because, brother, I would have loved to been there that day when they started the bus protest And the Edomites, in a panic, drove down to the bus stations and ran out to the sisters and said, why aren't y'all taking the bus? Why aren't y'all taking the bus? And the bus company was losing all its money and going out of business. I would have loved to be there that day and see them in a panic because black people was no longer riding the bus. Brothers was carpooling. You should have saw, like they don't even tell you the whole story. When we were carpooling, they would pull the cars over. Write fines for the brothers to where brothers had to designate cars. That's damn near where the taxi came from. Brothers had to designate cars that had no blemishes to use to take the sisters to work because, of course, they was going to get stopped. You understand? On the whole thing. They recreated it in the civil rights movement. And so they was driving their cars, taking these sisters to work. And brother, these Edomites was in a panic. And that's what made them say, okay, we're going to change the rule. They didn't change the rule because of any morality. They changed the rule because of the money was gone. And they had to change the rule. And the same should apply to us.
Right.
Everybody gets rich off of us. And the same should apply for us. And I can't wait to see that day where we go back to not wanting Uncle Tom, where we go back to using words like sellout and start really caring for what happens to us as a people. That's going to be a beautiful day. Hey, listen, I hope y'all join me. I ain't got the date yet, but you got to, first of all, I hope you join us if you can over in Scotland and England. You know, General Muhammad going to teach a super class out there. The generals are going to be all out there teaching and working with the brothers and sisters out there. You understand? We're gonna do this up, man. King James Castle. We doing it up live. I'm gonna break down some history you never heard of. You understand? On the King James Castle, we're gonna clarify, we're gonna shut down all you liars who've been trying to act like what the Roman Catholic Church said about King James was real. Man, let me tell you something. You're gonna see something. You want to really, y'all bling-blinging out there? You want to see a nigga that know how to bling? King James built his castle on a volcano. Feel that. He took a volcano and built a castle on it like you ain't never seen before. So we going out to Scotland, boy. We're gonna get it on and show you the wealth and power, how black people really rose in this earth and what they did that was so amazing and how they worship to this day for that work. That's the first thing. Then I hope you join me out in Houston, Texas, out there with Captain Yatazak and Captain Kahunthum Yard, the big cat, Captain Kahunthum Yard, because I'm going to have a hellified lecture about is porno and video games stealing your man away from you. And brother, if you see the stuff they doing in the dark psychologically against your man, I never thought they could get a brother this way. I thought the vagina was the most powerful tool against all odds, save for the Lord. I said, save for the Lord. Surely there's no greater weapon. But they have found and managed a way to break brothers' spirits from their woman. And it's causing dissension in the families out here, in the world. I'm talking, of course. It's causing dissensions to where a lot of brothers is caught up in these video games and this pornography and cannot perform with their ribs. And it's changing them physically because the video games create a stress that men are attracted to. It's like a war stress. And that stress, I ain't gonna give away too much, but that stress is also draining your testosterone and breaking you down. It's really doing something physically to you. And they beating brothers with it. And in a minute, and they were so genius with it because look, first of all, you got to wake up. They trying to wipe us out. They got our sisters brainwashed and killing the babies in the abortion clinic. And now they found a way to even stop the brothers from dealing with the sisters. They done double their efforts in making sure that you don't be fruitful and multiply. So I hope you join me for that in Houston. I'll get the date for you with that. It's going to be beautiful. I want to thank the heavy hitters for joining me every Monday night like we do. General Muhammad, General Maka General Hazayan, you understand, Officer Morale, Officer Yadai, Officer Abba. We got other officers in there. Big shout out to the car just got raised. Big shout out to the sisters that came up from Florida. Good to see you, sis. Came up from North Carolina. Good to see you, sis. You understand? And, we do it every Monday night. So I'll see y'all next time live on the UPK. Shalom.
A lot of y'all don't know
Go
about
ahead,
the phone
Yahanna,
call.
thumb
Yeah,
y'all,
phone
baby.
call class.
You did it, Hebrew.
This
You
is
did
when
it.
Brother Yahanna was on the grind. This brother right here was the only brother, and I waited to see if he would mess up or be late. At 7 o'clock, my phone would ring on Sundays without fail. Always been on point. This is a soldier right here.
That's right.
That's right. This is a dedicated soldier.
Damn right.
He's committed to follow orders. He followed orders, so he's never had to give me any sort of excuse. This cat right here, this brother right here, is powerful.
Damn right.
That's right.
Big up to you, brother. Appreciate it. You always been on point. You know what I'm saying? The work of the Lord, doing what only God knows is needed in this city. You understand? I remember you at the Malcolm X. The Malcolm X. That was important. We went to camp. Small Hour was right there. You know what I'm saying? I remember him from long ago. You understand? He's been with us. He's definitely an accomplishment in his work.
That's right.
Damn right. So, brother, with the power that Commander General Yahanna has given me today, you will no longer be known as a captain of 10,000. You will receive the highest rank that you can receive right now in this school. You will be known as a captain of 13,000.
All right. Let's get it.
Yabaraka Yahweh, Wayashamaka, Yahal Yahweh, Panyawa, Al Yaka, Wayakanta, Yashal Yahweh, Panyawa, Al Yaka, Wayashamaka, Shalom, Yahweh, Washim, Yahweh Shah, Rapa, Wagan, Shamawa Ola, Shamawa Ola, Washim Yahweh Shah. But what a mark. That's right. Kwabia Shala! Kwabia Shala! Kwabia Shala! Kwabia Shala!
Commanding General Yahanna will be doing the opening of the Feast of Tabernacles in King James Castle. Finally, the truth about King James, a black man who helped to preserve and safeguard the Bible. Live September 29th, 2023. Commanding General Yahanna live at King James Castle in Scotland. Come on down and support the I.S.U.P.K. UK. Lift the glass, come and join the brotherhood and drink with the ancient as we celebrate and keep the Feast of Tabernacles for our King Yahushua in King James Castle. Bringing his crew of heavy hitters. Commanding General Yahanna will put 12 chill General Muhammad scripture breakdown class up against anyone, against any biblical scholar, untested, unchallenged, I.S.U.P.K, undefeated. Leviticus chapter 23, the Feast of Tabernacles in a black man's castle, hosted in Scotland, the United Kingdom, UK. Commanding General Yahanna will be doing the opening of the Feast of Tabernacles in King James Castle, Thursday, September 28th, Scripture Breakdown class. Friday, September 29th, there will be a King James Castle tour, also a Johnny Walker Distillery tour, and Friday night, the opening of the Feast of Tabernacles. Saturday, September 30th, we will have camp on the streets of England. Sunday, October 1st, the UK Cookout. Monday, October 2nd, the Warwickshire Castle Tour. I.S.U.P.K. under commanding General YAHANNA at King James Castle in England. This is an absolutely monumental, historical event. Wham Yasha'Allah, Yasha'Allah, Yasha'Allah.
Want us to stop. But man, don't we deserve a shot? Don't we deserve a shot to be the Lord's people? Israel, let's do it!